everyone, it's NonnaGrace, and I'm from Western New York. Today I'm going to show you the final part of the Greystone Manor. We're in the gift shop, and I've tried real hard to remember what people were saying, and I do believe I got it pretty close to what was going on. I'm not sure, because when I'm looking around, I'm really not I'm listening but not paying attention, kind of thing. And I really was thinking the sound would have been there, which would have been very helpful. Today, also, when Emily came over because she wanted to bomb her house. Well, it sounds bad. She wanted to do the fog.
Flea bomb.
Flea bomb. That's what she wanted to do. Oh gosh. Yeah, and she needed to be away from the house with her cat to bring it here, so she brought it in a carrier. And the cat settled down. It was fine. But she needed to do that to get the fleas out of her house, because when Maya was around, before Maya passed away, Maya used to be a flea. She used to detect fleas or attract fleas all the time. Mm-hmm. So she wanted to get her house cleared of fleas. And I said, you're going to have to treat your cat too, because whatever fleas weren't finding Maya were going to the cat, I'm sure. So she's going to have to do that when she gets home. And then she also said the canister, the package with the canisters came with 4. So if she has to do it again, she can. She brought her wash here, and she did her wash while she was waiting for because she had to be here for 2 hours, and then had to go home and open the window and let air out for another 2 hours. And so she did that. And now she had gone home. But while she was here, I had mentioned to her that there's no spirits in our house that I can see. So I went to show her on a program that I just loaded, because I tried yesterday and there was nothing. It showed up nothing. And today, what's it do? It shows me a spirit when she's looking. And she won't stay at my house because she thinks it's spooky. Too spooky to stay here. She hears too many things and she sees too many things. Well, I haven't seen the little person that she talked about, the little child that used to sit at the top of the stairs. I haven't seen George and I haven't seen Sally, but I did see a horse with wings, but it had horns, and I told it to stop flapping and go away, and it went away. And then I saw an alien, and I was going to ask it name, but I didn't know how to do it because I was holding the iPad and typing and holding the iPad at the same time. It's not easy. Then I saw a soldier that had a sword. It was another time. And then the last one was a lion with wings. And I was talking to it, and it said something about it had help. Help me.
Something about being a magical creature in a magical land.
And I didn't know anything about the magical land, and it said it was okay that I didn't know anything, and it was going to explain more. And then it disappeared too, because I forgot to turn off the internet, and an ad popped in, and I knew when I went back it wouldn't be there. So anyways, in the program that I was using that I didn't think worked, and ended up working very well, I've got my iPad in here. I'll look at and I'll tell you what it was. It was Ghost Detector, and it looks like a radar, and what it does is it goes boom, 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 and when there's a spirit, it goes rings, bring, and then you just kind of scan the room with your camera, and you'll see it's like a green outline of a character. It actually looks like something, and you're supposed to be able to talk to it, and it's supposed to talk back to you. And the one that I was using was called Ghost Hunting with Mr. and Mrs. McStache, which was interesting because it was coming up words. I was just sitting in the chair, and it actually said to me, "Don't forget me," because I wasn't talking. I was just letting it sit there. And I said, "I haven't forgotten you." And then a lot of words would across the thing, it would get real high, the meters, as you saw in our video. The meters would go real high and then real low, like when she was talking about vinegar. Well, let's just go to that video and finish before I use up all the time and chatting. Let's go to the video and you can see the gift shop. We walked from the furnace room to the gift shop. This was the brightest room in the whole house. When we got in there, you could see that there was a lot of dolls. And I was looking at the dolls a fair amount. And I went down to this one doll because that doll had funny hair. That doll is just like the dolls I used to have. You could not style nor comb their hair because it was so bad. And there was another mannequin there. Then I went over to these jewelry things, and Angela was telling me that there was stones and there were potions in some of the little tubes. The tubes were absolutely adorable. I like the case that they're in, and I like the little tubes. I like tiny things, I guess. I like beads and small stuff to touch that are uniform and the same size. Then when we were walking around, Jim heard something, and she mentioned, "Oh, you heard the camera. I have a camera in here." And one day, and I have it set to humanoids, so that when they're in here, I don't know how they would get in here, but they would come in, and they would be walking, and it would show like little humanoid squares or green or red. I don't remember what color she said. But they would be walking across, and they would go across the room, look at things, and she would see them walk, and then go out the door and disappear. She couldn't understand where did they go. She also was saying that before she put the camera in, she was using just the cups to detect if there was spirits in the room. But when she would come in, she would find things off their spot and on the floor. And some of the things were really, really intricate, and some of the things were huge, and they were just placed around the room in a whole different place. They weren't where they started, and she couldn't understand that either. So she decided she better put the camera in. This way it would catch anything that was walking past. There's more dolls over in this corner, and there were some old-fashioned clothes hanging. So if you were looking for Halloween outfits, that would have been the place to go to get a Halloween outfit that was kind of different. Make your own, like I used to do when I was growing up. Angela's looking at things. Jim's just kind of standing there waiting, and she was waiting for us to finish our look around. She picked something up. I don't know what she picked up because I apparently didn't scan over that area. I don't know what it was. She's looking at other stuff. Up high, there's things. Maybe Heather said there was something up high, so she looked up high there for a minute. Also, there's a lot of stuff on the wall, hanging on the wall. There was T-shirts I noticed around the room, and there were some T-shirts with stuff written on them, but I don't know what was written on them because I really didn't read them. I decided I would check what was on the table, and there's feathers on the table, white feathers, and there was candles, and I don't know what else there was. There was a lot of stuff. There was rocks in one section, but I don't know if that was the section. There was the lights that were around the room that made it feel brighter. She had all the little, like, Christmas-looking lights in the back, and there was extra ceiling lights on, so the room was actually rather bright compared to what we've been dealing with. It was very refreshing to see some brightness because I really don't like gloomy. She was checking something on her phone and saying about something that she could hear noise, and from the alarm would go off with the camera, and she would hear it on her phone, and she could see what was going on the phone. But there was no explanation how they would get in or how they actually went out, because when she would check, the door was always locked. And there was big things and little things, it didn't matter, and they were just around the room. She was repeating herself, is what she was doing there. Well, she said, it's time for us to go, so she opened the door, and we all walked out. And I must have cut a lot of stuff out of here because the walk out is way shorter than what it really looks. She opened the bead curtain and continued on into the furnace room and then up the stairs. And when we got to the top of the stairs, the dogs were waiting for us. We left the door open because she said the cat will be coming pretty soon. If not, it may have followed us. Well, I hope you enjoyed visiting the Greystone. We enjoyed the trip. I think we enjoyed the trip more so because of who we were with, more than what we saw. But I've learned a lot while we were away, which was very nice. And I sure hope we get to do something again. So take care, and I will see you in our next video. Bye-bye.